Good evening, everybody. It's Charlie, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. It's time for your Crystal Palace preview. I know I did upload this yesterday. I really do apologise about that one. My laptop seemed to be glitching every few seconds, which is why there was a few more like pauses than usual. So yeah, really do apologise about that one. But having thought about it, I thought that it may have been a bit better to do the preview after today's fixtures. Obviously, there is one team that have just helped us out. I just finished watching the Merseyside derby that finished 2-0 to Liverpool. But unfortunately, Burnley beat Wolves 1-0. They seem to be on like a new coach bounce with the caretaker that they've got at the minute in Mike Jackson. So the relegation fight is really heating up now. But just before I get into it, smash that like button. Please subscribe and share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And please check out the membership available on Chatting Leeds. It's £1.99 a month, and you'll see all the perks that come along with that. So then, Crystal Palace against Leeds. Now, based on today's fixtures, is the Palace game a must-win? I can see arguments for why it is. I can see arguments for why it isn't. I think if you look at Everton's fixtures, they've got some ones that I expect they will definitely lose, but they've got some ones where you think, even if it's a point here, a win there. Whereas Leeds, after we play against Palace, we've got to play City, Arsenal, and Chelsea back to back. The only one in them three that I can see as potentially winning or getting a point in at this minute in time is Chelsea. I watched them play against West Ham earlier. Yes, they beat them late on, but they were poor, they were bang average, and they've got the FA Cup final a few days after that. So I'd expect that they'll make changes. So, it's at Ellen Road as well. Ellen Road under the lights in a midweek fixture. You just never know. But I think for Leeds at the minute, it's just important that we get points on the board and just focus on ourselves. A point away at Selhurst Park against Palace is not to be sniffed at. It's a good result for any team. We've seen very recently a very good Arsenal team go there and lose 3-0. So would I take a point? If I'm being honest, yeah, I would. But we need to win this game, I think. Don't get me wrong, and I'm kind of contradicting myself a bit here, but yes, I would take a point. But at the same time, I think we need to win as well. We have the opportunity to make it a 7-point gap on that bottom three. It's 4 at the minute. Obviously, we're 4 points ahead of Everton now. I think Everton are in that bottom three now, only a point behind Burnley, but the fact is they're in it now. Up until now, they haven't been in it. Now they're in it. So now you're going to see the true character of that Everton team. Now they're in that bottom three. Could they play differently? Probably. And I expect them to. But we can't be focusing on other teams. I know that we obviously are. I have never cheered a Liverpool goal like I did earlier. But it is what it is. It's the position that Leeds find themselves in. How do we go about beating Crystal Palace? Listen, as I said, it's a very tough place to go to, is Selhurst Park. I think Vieira's got them playing some really good football this season. Likes of Gallagher, Zaha, Ayew, Elise, even that Edouard who plays for them up front. They've got who's that guy who scored against Arsenal? Mateta, who seems like is a decent enough forward, can cause a lot of back fours some problems. They drew at home against Man City. They beat Man City away, unbeaten against Man City this season, like we were last season. As I touched upon earlier, they've recently beaten Arsenal 3-0. They beat Spurs at home this season. So it is a tough place to go to. Do I think we can get something? Absolutely. A lot of people are forgetting when they speak about Leeds that Leeds are unbeaten in the last four, 3 wins and a draw. And it's really frustrating as well. Just as a small side note, since we drew with Southampton, how poor have they been? They drew at Brighton today. They've been battered 6-0 by Chelsea. Yes, they beat Arsenal, but Arsenal were going through a bit of poor form at that point. But teams always seem to turn it on against Leeds and then they do poor afterwards, and I don't know why. But anyway, that's probably another story for another video. But yeah, I think we have played well of late, but there's still issues for me in the final third. You know, we've got James playing up front, who is predominantly a winger, being asked to play out of position. I don't think he's been awful, but you can just tell it's not his position. I think Rodrigo has been like a different player since Marsh's came in. He's really getting a tune out of him, and it's good to see. I think we're starting to see the Rodrigo that we all thought we were getting at the start of last season. You know, he's the club record signing, and he's starting to show that now. Maybe a year and a half too late, but is still showing it. Um, and yeah, it's as simple as that, really, people. A point or a win, preferably a win. I think we do need a win in this. You know, we'll be 7 points clear, but I won't be disappointed with a point. I think it depends how this game goes. Like I said, we need to sort it out in the final third. We have chance after chance after chance. The XG's been really good under Marsh. We have scored a few goals, but we need to be more clinical. Yes, it's hard with Bamford out, but we've got the likes of Gell out. We've got Sam Greenwood, who recently, you know, against Wolves and against Watford has come on in big games, really, if you think about it, and really put a shift in and played well and has given Marsh something to think about there. I think Rafinha needs to be bang at it. He had a good game against Watford. His goal was good. You know, Harrison, a lot of people are not really speaking about Harrison. He's scored in his last 3 games. So I'm I'm taking a lot of confidence from our last 4 games going into this. The likes of Phillips. Phillips is going to start. Phillips and Click in that holding role, I think, will be massive for Leeds United. Click will have the license to venture forward a bit more, and Phillips will occupy the role that he's been used to even under Bielsa. You know, that single pivot. And you know, stats don't lie. With I think I saw a stat. Was it like 14 goals we've conceded with Phillips and like 50 odd without him? There's a reason why he's so vital. And you know, when I say it pains me to say it because I like Leeds players to do well, obviously, but I'm not the biggest Liam Cooper fan. But even I have to hold my hands up at the minute and say, since Coops has come back, we do look more stable at the back. I still think Cock over Diego is a must. I can understand why Pascal's out of our side at the minute. You know, I think he did need a bit of a break. He was starting to get a bit erratic as well. But Llorente needs a break now. And I think Cock and Cooper is the best centre back partnership to at least get us over the line this season. And, you know, if Ayling and Stuart Dallas at either side, it tells you something when we much prefer Dallas, who is a centre midfielder, a winger sort of by trade, but we prefer him at left back over Junior Firpo. I think Junior Firpo is getting closer to fitness, but I don't want to see him in a Leeds shirt again. That might sound a bit bold. And yes, he could maybe improve next season, but can we really see that? No. There's a reason why, you know, those Barcelona fans and the board over there, they must have been laughing their asses off when we paid 13 million quid for him. And I was someone who wanted to give Firpo time, but he's had time now. Yes, Rodrigo wasn't great last season, and now he is. You could put that down to a change of management, a change of philosophy. But Rodrigo last season, he had COVID a few times. He was injured a lot of last season, and we did see at the end of last season his quality. So that's why I kind of gave Rodrigo a free pass last season. But this season, fair play, yeah, he's had COVID and he's had injuries. But even when he's had consistent spells in the team, he's been woeful for me. That Aston Villa game epitomised it for me. Yes, he got injured, which I'm not saying that I want a player to be injured, but I wasn't bothered when he got injured. Again, that might sound harsh and it might be a bit controversial, but from what I'm seeing on Leeds Twitter, I think it's something that we all agree with. Um, but Leeds just need to. Anyway, I feel like I'm just waffling about other issues, but as for this Palace game, we need to attack their fullbacks massively. I think the fullbacks are weak. I think Ward at right back, if Harrison can just have the confidence to try and get past him, I think he can. I forget who the left back is. Is it Mitchell? He's okay. I think it was that lad that got called up for England, wasn't it? He's decent, but I think Rafinha can always have a field day against most fullbacks in this league, minus maybe the City ones and the Liverpool ones. But the midfield area is massive. I don't want to see a man marking as such, but I think maybe is it a good idea to maybe tell Phillips just to stay on Conor Gallagher in that midfield, maybe? But then what I said earlier about occupying that single pivot, maybe if Click goes forward, who knows? I think Phillips did a good job on Gallagher at that home game earlier on in season when we scored that late penalty from Rafinha. I was there. I remember that was one of the most nervous times in the South Stand this season for me. It was. I remember as he put that ball on Circle, I thought, "Please, Raf, please." And obviously, he scored it. Did we deserve to win that game? Probably not. I think a draw would have been fair. It was quite a boring game of football, really, that one earlier on in season. It was under Bielsa, so it was the man marking, and Palace still couldn't really punish us. So that's why I'm taking confidence going into this one, if I'm being totally honest with you. Now, in my preview that I obviously had to remove due to technical difficulties yesterday, I did say that the game would be 2-2. Having had time to think about it, I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds United. I'm going to say it with my chest. 2-1 to Leeds United. Goal scorers, I think Rodrigo will score, and I think Harrison will score again. I do. So it's going to be Rodrigo and Harrison, 2-1 to Leeds United, and hopefully that will make that gap wider to 7 points. So then that brings the preview to the close for this evening. If you've enjoyed it, please smash a like. Please subscribe if you're brand new as well. I want to keep growing the channel. I did tweet out, I think yesterday, as everyone knows, I am in the process of moving house. I'm wanting to get a decent setup in my little Leeds United room in that house. So hopefully you'll be seeing more live streams. Obviously, we're getting towards end of season now. But certainly next season, any game that's away from home where Leeds are on telly or anything like that, I will start doing watch-alongs. I think it'll be a good way to interact with you all. So please subscribe. As I say, I do want to keep growing this channel. Share all of your thoughts and opinions on this Palace game in the comment section down below. And as I said at the beginning, please check out the membership available on Chatting Leeds. It's £1.99 a month, and you'll see all the perks that come along with it. And I'll see you probably after the Palace game tomorrow night. I will be back with my post-match reaction, so make sure that you tune into that. And I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.